Welcome, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday. We're coming to you live here from the Online Media School here in the O'Hare campus. And wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, day or night, I hope it is just right. Excuse me. Yes, we are back once again. Another fantastic show for all of you guys out there. We have got a lot of football stuff we got to talk about, obviously. Some basketball news, believe it or not, is going to drop as well here at the very beginning, too. And, of course, we'll get into our regulars of the Pick Six, the weekly wrap-up, the weekend wrap, whatever. You know what it is. My brain's off right now. The thing where we talk about the college football and we talk about the stories that happened. Yeah, that whole thing. And then, of course, we'll do the Pick Six. And then Scotty apparently has something planned for us. And Scotty Kiefer is back after driving through a zoo and decidedly taking out a number of...
Whoa.
You killed Bambi.
No.
You did.
He probably walked away.
You don't know, though, because you didn't see him.
That's true.
So how would you know?
But I'm okay. That's more important. Andrew.
Yes, it
Thanks
is.
for
It is most
concerning
important to
for
understand
my
that,
health.
that Scotty is okay for his health, even if he did. He is a murderer of a fawn.
I didn't murder it. I
How do
saw
we
it
know?
run off.
Sure,
You
you can
gave it a little tap on the butt.
you can
Like a
say
girl at a
that
nightclub.
all you want, but I thought I saw a little red on that bumper of yours.
No.
I'm just saying. I don't know. And you never know with intent. You have to be. You never know. I'm never certain with you, Scotty. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Scotty is back. He's gonna have a little something for us at the very end to kind of discuss and talk about. But without further ado, Scotty, you ready to get into it, my man? I wish you'd pick just any I guess something like a noise, whatever. Okay, Scotty's ready, and because that's the best we're gonna get out of him apparently at 10:30 in the morning. So let's start this off with we're gonna start in the NBA because obviously biggest news kind of hitting the ground was that the Dallas Mavericks decidedly came to their senses. I guess I don't even know how to describe it best more than anything, but basically. The Dallas Mavericks made the decision that general manager Nico Harrison was no longer needed for his services and decidedly said, "You're fired," and walked him out the door as this is at the end of what has been a very wavy, rickety, tumultuous, however you want to describe it, just a very odd 9 months for this guy really being the general manager. I mean, somebody who came into the position was not relatively known for having any experience in this spot, but was considered to be potentially a solid choice. But as an executive, I would have to say had success because the Mavericks were able to get to the finals under his tutelage as the general manager. Unfortunately, didn't win it. After which he then gets an extension, and then the craziness begins. The absolute insanity comes from within with obviously the trade of Luka Doncic, and you have the bigger moves coming out with guys like Kristaps Porzingis, and it's an amalgam of just all these different types of moves that are being made left and right for a franchise that seemingly was on the verge. And obviously I understand that some of these moves were made before Luka and all that stuff, right? The Jalen Brunson's gone, Kristaps Porzingis goes, all of these different things happen. But the Luka one is kind of like the final like feather in the cap, if you will, in bad terms, I guess if you can say, in Nico's entirety of his career, right? A guy who just relatively you could give a lot of credit to for helping the Mavericks get to the final, sure, but he is also the guy that is now going to be linked to the complete dismantle of the franchise's roster and then the downfall of the organization that led to them getting the number one pick, which I guess he kind of had a mercy opportunity to pick somebody number one overall in Cooper Flagg, but we said this too on Blow the Whistle beforehand in this week. It's just weird timing because it definitely felt like this was something that should have happened before the season started. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but it's an odd outcome for a franchise that at one point we were saying, man, they should be favored to go back into the West again, and then all of a sudden everything happens, and now they get the number 1 pick. But why allow Nico to be a part of that decision when you knew this was going to be the outcome more than likely? Like, why was it now? Was it 11 games in and they fire him? Like, why is it now the moment to do so when you could have done this before they made the draft pick? Was it just you wanted to make sure you took Cooper Flag? Scotty, your thoughts?
I think it's just gotten to the point where the fan backlash is insane. You know, like it was really bad last year, but I think they were thinking, this is like a short-term thing. It'll turn around and, the fans will come back and it'll kind of just be something in the wind.
Right.
But you're 11 games in. You're in a game where you're only down 2 scores against a competitive Bucks team, and the only chance aren't in support of the team. They're against firing the general manager.
Yeah.
I think that's when they realize that, this is going to stay around for a while. And, a move like that doesn't bring back Luka. They got a good compensation in Cooper Flag, but obviously it's not the same. It will never be the same. I heard someone say, he goes, I was just watching the Lakers the other day, and I was just like, I can't believe he's on the team. I can't believe Luka is on the Lakers. Because it's just, when you have people who actively just hate on everything the Lakers do, and they're even saying, whoa, that was the worst trade I've ever seen in my life. The Lakers just got their franchise piece.
Right.
For not almost nothing, but for what they're going to get with him, it's going to be nothing in the end of the day. So, I don't know. I don't think this is anything that obviously Nico Harrison's a bad GM because he made maybe the worst trade in sports history. Probably the worst trade since, selling Babe Ruth to fund a Broadway musical.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean, again, like you said, this is a guy who built a team that can get them to the finals. So obviously he's somewhat of a good GM. And then that just shows you that one mistake can completely ruin your reputation. Yeah,
and that's kind of where we're at, I think, with Nico, is like, is he going to get another job? Like, you can make an argument, sure, there's an opportunity for you to get into the front office somewhere, but like where is that place? Where's that spot that he can land, or maybe either he can work himself into the GM spot, or like someone's going to be like, hey, you did kind of help build that team. It's just and I've seen some people be like, well, they're listening too much to the fans and stuff, and it's like, look,
that's what a team should do.
That's the part of the thing, is like the fans' voice does count for something.
Yeah.
It shouldn't affect maybe every business decision, but look, when the Bulls had their little situation going down, right? All those years ago when they were just losing and losing and losing, but they were continuously selling out the stadium or the United Center. Who cares, right? The moment they saw that it dropped to, I think, it was like 11% drop in the fan attendance, they went, oh no,
we gotta start making moves.
Yeah, we gotta get somebody new.
Good wake up.
Of course, yeah, and that's the fans.
Look at the I mean, you could look at the Blackhawks. The
Yeah.
Blackhawks are doing the same right now. Their
Exactly.
They aren't selling out games really anymore, completely at least.
Right.
And they had a great offseason, and they look like a good team.
Yeah.
I will say this is giving, like, you remember Hinkie when he got fired by the 76ers?
Yes,
Like,
I do remember
everyone
that.
was like, God, his record is terrible. He can't build a team. But then they started, it was like, the trusting of the process. I feel like it was that kind of deal where just the fan overcry of, we're sick and tired of this, instead of waiting it out. Because, hey, maybe Kendrick Perkins was right. Maybe this team could be something in like 2 years, and the trade he made gets them back. Like, who knows?
Sure.
But at this point, you fire him, you got to think that some of those pieces are gone. AD's probably gone. Kyrie might want to get traded.
Yeah.
Clay is probably going to be a good cheap piece for someone to get at the deadline.
Especially now, he's not playing well at all.
I know. So
And
I think you're going to get something like that now with the Mavericks, where if he was still the general manager, it would be that waiting out process.
Yeah, and now it's almost gotten worse, too, because I saw the update that just came through from Sham that Derek Lively, the second, their center, big-time center, young guy, really spectacular player.
out.
He's now out for, I was a couple weeks or so with a knee sprain. So now you've lost your big man, your other big man who has been playing well, but you never know what you're going to get from him. I will reiterate this again. As the one team I'm still rooting for here in Chicago, the Bulls, do not trade everything in the world for this guy.
For who?
For Anthony Davis. I don't know if you saw the whole trade of
No, I think AK is. I think that's a move I could see AK pulling off.
I could see it too, and I don't think it's listen.
I think that's his top priority right now.
If you're telling me that you can get that guy and flip him for Vooch, fine. It's a lot to give up. I wouldn't give up your pick, the Bulls pick. I would give up the Portland pick, Kobe White, Vucevic.
I was gonna say, so if you go Portland next year, Chicago, Kobe White and Vucevic.
Sure.
Because look at how good the team's doing without Kobe White right now.
No, yeah, well, that's the big thing you have to see.
The team's going to get better with Kobe White, but like your team's going to get better with Anthony Davis.
Oh, of course. That's the thing, though, is that as long as he's healthy, he's a top 10 player in the league always. As soon as he gets hurt, like you better have the backup insurance, and that's where, like Zach Collins, you got to keep that guy then as the insurance piece for him at center, and Jalen Smith too. I wouldn't trade him because he's been a great small ball power forward center for that team. But either way, Dallas, like you said. Pieces are probably going to get moved now. It's kind of like, all right, Cooper, you are the future. We're going to start building around you. Lively, the second's going to be part of that future too. Like, those are your cornerstones, and you just have to flush it out. And for all I know, D'Angelo Russell's probably going to go at the deadline too. I mean, like, he's another guy. Yeah, because you know what are you paying attention to? Yeah. He overtook Klay Thompson's spot because Klay can't hit threes apparently anymore, which is sad. It's sad to see. So... but, yeah, you know what? We'll see what happens with the Mavericks. Good on them, I guess, for making the move. Just kind of weird timing. Just feels like it would have made
11 games in.
It just make the move before the offseason if you're going to do it. Why it's like I said on Blow the Whistle, it feels like of Mice and Men where, you know, Lenny's talking about the rabbits and it's like just keep talking about the rabbits. Just keep talking about, you know, bam, and then you just take them right in the head. Sorry if I hurt your ears there. But, you know, I guess, yeah, you took him out when he was, I guess, at his highest moment to some degree. But, yes, outside of that, let us know, guys, what do you think about the Mavericks situation? Who do you think is going to be next, I guess, for the GM? What do you think happens from here? What altercations could happen? I know they just signed Jason Kidd to an extension, but you never know. Like, things change when a new GM walks in. Let us know. We want to hear from you guys. All right, let's get to the NFL. Quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. You guys asked your questions. We got your answers for you. We're going to talk them through because I only had a couple of questions. I mean, you guys asked some good questions. I picked a handful of the ones that I saw were kind of coming in from you guys to kind of talk about. So let's get to it. The first big one, obviously, Brian Daboll. If you don't know, his New York Giants played the Chicago Bears, and they had a chance to win the game. Unfortunately, Jackson Dart went out with a concussion. In comes Russell Wilson, and Caleb Williams doing what he does now as a norm. Puts on a clutch factor of epic proportion and just shows why he's now one of these top rising young quarterbacks. And wins the game 24-20 for the Giants. And because of this loss, apparently, this was the final game for Brian Daboll because this past Monday, he was fired. He was let go, and it was shocking-esque, I guess, because it did feel like maybe he would make it to at least the end of the season. But these are also the Maras. These are the Giants. They are oftentimes very restless, especially now.
Can I tell you why this was shocking?
Sure.
2 reasons. One, you have a coach in South Florida who has literally lost the locker room since maybe week 2 of this season, but they're going to keep him until the end of the year.
Sure.
Then, you know, Daboll, that first year of Daboll, we're talking about a former coach of the year right now.
Yeah. Being
fired. The record, yes, is bad.
Of course.
But he had Daniel Jones at quarterback, who it just did not work. Did not work. After year 3, didn't work.
Of course.
He lost the only offense he had in Saquon Barkley,
Yes.
which I don't think that's Daboll's fault because Daboll still wanted him. His draft picks, Evan Neal, not really turning out well. Thomas, it's all right.
Thomas has been I would say, Pro Bowl left tackle.
When he's in.
That's the problem.
When he's in.
Got to be healthy.
The defense is plug and play with a bunch of hacks from all over the NFL. No, they tried to bring in stars, and it seems like they fall off the face of the earth when they get to New York.
I mean, Brian Burns has been probably their only consummate piece on that defense
that they've brought in through the draft.
Right. That
Dexter.
is, yeah.
I'd say him and Dexter.
Dexter, yes, that's is another one too.
Everyone else that they've tried to bring in, I mean, they brought in Jeremy Chin, and he did nothing.
Right.
Bro is a 6'4" safety. He should be doing stuff.
I would say right now that
I would say this is more on the general manager. I think Brian Daboll is being shown as a scapegoat. And I know you look at that record and you say, oh, his record as a coach isn't well. Well, sorry, he hired his general manager hired a terrible defensive coordinator who's blown almost every single loss that they had this year.
Yeah.
And then, he, again, didn't have a quarterback, lost his best offense last year. He now has his quarterback in Jackson Dart, and this team has life. And the offense is still firing all cylinders when they've lost their two best players.
Yeah.
How is it Daboll's fault?
It's not.
Daboll's an offensive guy, so when the defense is your worst part of it, how is it? I know he's the head coach, but how much of that blame is really on him? He's not calling the defense.
No, and that's totally fair, and I'm kind of in that same boat too. Like, this was a clear, to me at least, and this is just my opinion, and obviously Scotty shares in that, it definitely felt like a scapegoat. Like, we'll give you this one, but we're keeping Joe Shane. Why keep him too? I'm not sure of. I guess to some degree you can say he has hit on some of his picks, right? Obviously,
we just said that.
Right.
Like, he's
Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors.
Dart was more of a Daboll thing, though.
Right.
It was shown that Daboll wanted him more. He wanted, I think someone else. I forget who he wanted, but he did not want Jackson Dart. That was a Daboll move.
But I mean, just for the credit that you're getting, like, Neighbors, you get Scattaboo, who's obviously, before the injury, was very good there. Andrew Thomas, again, when healthy, he's been a premier left tackle. Thibodeau, I mean, you go.
Carter, obviously, I mean.
Carter, the only problem with Carter is that the numbers don't show, but the play is there.
They will.
Yeah.
Dude,
you made the trade.
He was on fire.
Yeah.
He was good in that game versus the Bears.
Absolutely.
Although none of them got a sack, but none of them did. So
well, Darnell Wright made sure of that. But Brian Burns, again, another solid trade. And Tyler Newbin, I think, of anybody of that defensive backs, like, he is the resounding piece. Exactly. Represent for our St. Charles boy out there. By the way, I just want to make this known, too. Tyler's high school and my high school are apparently they're apparently on path to meet up with each other by next week if they both win. So me and not that I haven't been to my high school for a game in like ever, but I might go just to represent for me and for Tyler, because he's gonna be gone next week because he's got to go see the backup bowl between Penn State and Nebraska. It might actually be fun. We know. It might actually be fun. I'll be watching the TV just to see if I can spot those two guys.
No, but I agree with you, Andrew. I think this is more of a scapegoat thing. I don't think Daboll. I don't think Daboll is more of the blame for the Giants' woes than the general manager.
No, it's the same thing I say with Zach Taylor, like in Cincinnati. I don't think he's where the problem is for guys like Daboll and Taylor is that offensive coordinator position, lock, stock, and barrel, they've got it, right? Work with the quarterback, work with the offense, perfect. The problem is that when you put them in the head coaching positions, and this is what Matt Nagy, I think, had a problem with too, you're starting to give them that managerial title, right? How do I manage all these people now in terms of players and personnel for the coaches, right? If you don't know how to do that, you're going to lose everybody.
But here's my thing. I don't feel like the Giants have lost anyone.
I don't.
Does seem very much put together because of the veteran leadership they actually have. I mean, Jameis speaks really highly of the locker room.
Right.
So does Russell Wilson. I mean,
But I think this is where this is not about the coaches being lost. This is going to the front office and being like, we're upset with the situation, and leave it to Joe Shane and say, your choice. You keep him, you live and die with him. You fire him, we'll make me consider things and see how things shift out with Mike Kafka. And I like Mike Kafka. He's a nice guy.
Northwestern legend.
He is.
Threw 350 and 4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in one game.
Spoken like a true Northwestern quarterback right there. I'm just saying, he's a good offensive mind, but this is where, like, look, in terms of shifting this over to, like, who they need as a coach, the obvious names are getting brought up, right? The Bill Belichick, we talked about this before. He's had his association with the Maras. They like him. He likes them.
I got the perfect name.
He's worked with the Giants before. Everyone's talked about John Gruden now.
John Gruden's the perfect name.
I actually think there's somebody who might be better.
Back. He's not going to come back, but Gruden is
he's the outside-the-box choice.
The perfect name because of how much he loves Jackson Dart.
Oh, of course.
And this is like, the Ben Johnson situation.
Yeah.
This is like I would say, Canales situation as well.
Sure.
You're bringing in a coach strictly to work with this quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what the Bears did. That's what the Panthers did. And, I mean, Bryce Young, before he got hurt, it seemed like he was starting to figure it out.
Yeah.
But, he always gets injured, so then he falls back.
Right.
That's what their plan is now. You're advertising to coaches you get to work with Jackson Dart.
Oh, of course.
John Gruden is probably going to call.
You get Jackson Dart with Malik Neighbors, and potentially when he gets healthy, Cam Scattaboo. You've got a full arsenal of guys that you can have, and then it's just build out the defense. I honestly think 2 candidates. I think one is kind of outside the limits right now because I don't know if he's going to leave, but it makes sense because he was the college coach in Lane Kiffin. He's more experienced. He did work in the NFL before with the Raiders. It was like for a minute, but I think he's more happy now in college. They're finalizing a deal to extend him. So I think any move he's going to try to make at this point is kind of null and void. It hasn't been finalized yet. We don't know. It's just on the terms of, hey, they're trying to figure it out. The guy I think that's the most realistic possibility right now sitting in front of them that makes sense for me is Mike McCarthy. And I know people are going to go, oh, not Mike McCarthy. Here's the thing, though. He's always been a quarterback guru from San Francisco to Green Bay and even in Dallas. He finds a way to fix out an offense. Yes, his offenses get very stale. Yes, they get very kind of predictable.
Oh, yeah, they run a QB draw with no timeouts in a playoff game. Yeah,
he has not always made great decisions. I will concur with that. However, you need somebody who can come in there and not be scheme guy. You need manager guy to help manage this thing. And he, above everything else, has always been a good manager of a team, from coaches to players. It's hard. It's hard. I know people want to argue on that, but he always had that Green Bay team, and he had that Dallas team in point.
You know who I'd put over him? They got to do what they have to do what the Commanders did when they stole Dan Quinn from Dallas. They got to go get Cliff Kingsbury.
See, I don't know if that would work.
Because here's my thing with it. I think Cliff Kingsbury has the maturity now that he didn't have in Arizona.
Okay.
But he still has his swagger that would deal with the New York media.
Sure.
And bringing him in and working with Jaden Daniels is a real. Bring that over to Jackson Dart.
Okay.
Who don't have the same play style per se, but they definitely share attributes.
Okay.
And you could say in certain parts of Jackson Dart, you're maybe getting a better player, a better ability than in some aspects. And then in some aspects, he'll take from Jaden Daniels and put it on to Jackson Dart.
That's very possible.
Because you got to think. I mean, they've had injuries at the wazoo this year, and the Commanders' offense still looks pretty good.
No, it's not been bad. It's
more so the defense that's not doing anything.
I just feel like you need somebody who can step in there and just take control. And I don't know if Kingsbury is to take control. He's just very laid back. If he can step up and use his big boy voice, like he should have been doing in Arizona all that time ago, 100%, then that should be one of the guys you look at. And I think they will. But I just think right now is where you need a more veteran voice in there. Work with Jackson, build up that offense. If anything, you need to make sure that that kid is protected. You need to make sure that this concussion stuff is knocked off.
Send Jackson Dart to the MLB so he can learn how to slide. Give him a slip and slide.
I mean, listen, and the only thing he might learn from that is how to get wet. Honestly, like, he just can't play reckless. That's all it is. But we'll see what happens with the Giants. Unfortunate, but, fortunate for the Bears at least. They're 6-3.
And fortunate for the Bears, they don't have Justin Fields as a quarterback. Because, man.
Yeah, speaking of a former Bears quarterback, you remember when everybody was yelling at me, a few years ago, when Justin Fields hit that milestone of being the second all-time leading rusher in the history of the NFL for a quarterback, and everyone went, this is the guy, this is the man, this is the franchise. I'm not talking about anybody in specifics here. I promise. I'm not you, dude. Not you, amigo. I know, but I'm not specifically speaking to you. I'm specifically speaking to others that are no longer here. Amongst, obviously, some fans that were like, I was crazy. If you look at his numbers right now, unfortunately, you have to say, Andrew, you might have been right.
Well, because you do look at it, I mean, that touchdown to interception ratio is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. But except for the fact that you're tied dead, almost at the bottom right now for touchdowns, right? Yes, you have one interception. You're also at the bottom for quarterback rating.
Oh, yeah.
And you're also at the bottom for yardage. Once again, he's on pace to have less than 200 yards passing on the year.
2,000.
Yeah,
he said 200.
Well, I'm saying per game.
Oh,
200 per game. He won't even hit 2,000 apparently, even for the season. He's not hit 3,000 yards yet, period, for a year in his career.
You know what? I'm on the same boat with you where I think we're past the Justin Fields experiment.
It's done and over with.
I will say, though, this Jets team has taken such a step back that, of course, he's the quarterback for them.
Yes.
Herb Street said it best last night. He goes, I don't know what's wrong with this Jets offense. The best offensive play they have is sending everyone deep, getting them covered, and Justin Fields runs.
Which is basically a quarterback draw.
Yeah, that is literally the only offense the Jets have right now.
Yeah.
Other than checkdowns to Breece Hall.
Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't watch the game yesterday, A.D. Mitchell had his first opportunity since Garrett Wilson is now out for a good 3 to 4 weeks. Who? Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think he's out 4. They put him on IR.
Yeah, which obviously Aaron Glenn had a great crash out saying that Rich Eisen knows. I'm like, dude, okay, so he knew the guy was hurt. Big deal. Not all of this is going to fall on Justin because that team is obviously treacherously terrible. But look, somebody was asking me. This came from our guy Carl. He's a Bears fan who's, he doesn't live in Chicago anymore, but he's like, just to kind of sum it up, he was like, I so believed that Justin was the guy even up to the beginning of this year. And then all of a sudden after this, he's like, yeah, I kind of have to admit Caleb is way better than Justin. And he just asked the question. He's like, why do you think Justin has failed? Like, is there a significant reason why he's failed? And I say there's 2 big parts to it that are interconnected together, right? They're one and the same. It's coaching with his development. They're one and the same, 2 separate spots, but one and the same, because all throughout his career, I think Nagy never really wanted him. He's had different OCs going in with the Chicago Bears, obviously with Matt Eberflus. Obviously, Matt Eberflus had no real kind of work with him whatsoever. And then you had the whole situation in Pittsburgh where he was kind of good, but then he wasn't really good because he had Arthur Smith kind of working with him. And now with the Jets, it's another coaching staff. It's another offense that he has to learn, and it just becomes another situation.
Well, yeah, the problem is, I mean, you could say it's one and the same as well. It's just because the turnover. I mean, going from coach to coach, coordinator to coordinator,
right.
QB coach to QB coach, all the time. I mean, he's 5 years in. He's been on 3 teams.
Yeah.
And he had 2 head coaches in Chicago.
Yeah.
And probably I think 3 offensive coordinators in Chicago. How many QB coaches do you think he have? I mean, that number is probably up there too.
Oh, yeah.
So consistent turmoil, not being able to work with the same guy, and also not bringing in the right guy to develop him also goes with that as well, to expand upon his game. So I could agree with you that most of the blame maybe isn't on him himself, because he's openly said, like, I'm really trying, but, like, it's just not, that's not coming together.
Yeah, and I believe him when he says that he's really trying and he's practicing. I believe him on that. I think what also, and this is where I say the development part is kind of separated from the coaching stuff, because on his own personal development, I think one of the problems that Justin has had is what has developed in college continues to go through in his pro career. And I've said this before for other quarterbacks. Part of the problem that sometimes happens with these guys that we label like running quarterbacks, right? These guys that are super athletic, very fast, and they use that athleticism as part of their offense, right? Running quarterback for me says, I am running as much as I'm throwing because it's a part of my offensive arsenal. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing to be able to have. It's a great problem to have. But part of the issue I think that happens with some of these guys is they become so overconfident in that athleticism, that ability to run, be it a Tim Tebow, a Bobby Douglas, a Robert Griffin III, Justin Fields, Vince Young, Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick. I mean, Lamar Jackson for a time being. You can see a lot of these guys. They get into that groove, and they don't really throw the ball as much because all of a sudden, I can outrun guys. I'm more athletic. I'm more agile. I'm able to dodge guys. I understand it. I understand that. But then you see guys like Michael Vick, after his, obviously, prison sentence, he goes to the Eagles with Andy Reid, and he transforms into this whole new quarterback who can run, right? Randall Cunningham takes the time off, goes to the Vikings. Now, obviously, they have Randy Moss, Chris Carter, but he gets with Brian Billick, the offensive coordinator, turns into a quarterback who can run, right? Even guys like Lamar Jackson, we now see him go from being this guy who won the MVP with 1,000, the most yards rushed by a quarterback, and all of a sudden now he's winning MVP based upon his arm, his accuracy. He's a quarterback now
with like
can
little
run.
Receivers as well.
Exactly.
I think credit Justin Fields, he does have that game-changing, godlike ability. He's got some talent to run the ball.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying you should suppress that.
Yes.
I'm not saying kill it. I'm not saying don't use it.
This isn't Matt Nagy turning him into a complete pocket passer quarterback and telling him never to run.
Yes.
This is not what we're telling him to do.
Right.
You have to take the route that you're saying. You have to maybe prioritize, staying in the pocket more and playing like a quarterback.
Yes.
But be the guy who can also get out.
Be in the pocket, make the throw, and then if it's not there, if you can't get it open, then find your opportunity to escape and go make a play with your legs. It's what we see now with guys like Caleb. We see it with guys like Jaden Daniels. Drake May does this. A lot of the younger quarterbacks that are here now that are mobile are doing this, where it's in the pocket first, make the throw, and then run. As bad as maybe Kyler Murray has been at times, even he's done this, where he said, I'm going to throw it first, and then I'll try to run later.
100%.
Like, as much as you want to criticize him, he's doing the correct things. The problem with Justin, I think, again, it's coaching, yes. And that could solve it by having that proper coaching, like you said, Scotty. But I think it's also him, too, saying, I know I can run. I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to find a way to escape. And that's where you get into trouble, right? That's where you get banged up. You get bruised up. You suddenly find yourself injured, which he's been very lucky to not have that issue hardly at all. Like, there's been moments, but it's not been too serious where you're like, oh, we've lost him for the year. Like, you've lost him for a couple of weeks here and there. That's about it.
While you're talking about his mentality, I think there's one other thing, and this will be my last point. I think, the expectation of quarterbacks is higher than ever now.
Absolutely.
They draft quarterbacks. They're the savior of the franchise. And I think you look at the Chicago Bears, and Caleb has rose to that equation so far. He's rose to that. He said, I probably am the face of this franchise.
100%.
The QB of the franchise. I'm going to probably save it. And so far, he's lived up to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is buying into that and playing like it. I think that mentality was not there for Justin Fields, and he wasn't ready to take on that kind of responsibility. And when it didn't pan out and the media turned on him and everywhere turned on him, that just drove him down more.
Sure.
Because he couldn't live up to that. Because it's that pride thing, like, oh, I couldn't live up to it. Even though maybe he shouldn't have been looked at that Maybe we overblew it at the beginning, but that's what we do with all quarterbacks.
Of course.
But, when you don't live up to that, he's just that down on himself. And, the progression isn't showing because of that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Scotty.
I think that has something to go with it as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The multitudes of pressure that are on him from all different angles certainly couldn't have helped. Coaching staff, personnel issues. He had a lot of bad luck draws that came with being on the Bears at that point in time.
And it's not just a Bears thing. You could say that for a lot of teams, too.
Exactly.
Look at Bryce Young.
Yeah.
A little bit maybe the same situation.
Sure.
He's probably got the same thing. Daniels is doing the same thing Caleb is.
Yeah, exactly.
You can talk about how many quarterbacks have gone through, that situation and have lived up to it.
Yeah.
I think Justin's just the opposite of that. He had to live up to that, couldn't get there, and fell off with it.
No, I totally agree with you. Absolutely. It's unfortunate. It doesn't mean that obviously he can't have some sort of kind of breakthrough. We've seen it with guys later in their careers, right? We're seeing it with Daniel Jones. We've seen it now even with the guy like Matthew Stafford, who's leading for the MVP right now.
Saw it with Baker. Saw it with Darnold.
Exactly.
Saw it with Daniel Jones. Those are three guys that they were supposed to be the savior of their respective teams.
Yeah.
Now they're on different teams playing pretty good because they kind of just they didn't dwell in it so much. Justin's dwelling in it so much. I mean, he had that press conference where he said, I was just crying. You could tell that that's tearing at him.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that he didn't live up to it is really tearing at him, which I feel bad for him, but it happens.
Yeah. Listen, it doesn't mean that he can't be a franchise quarterback, but this is where you can say he's a franchise-defined quarterback, where the team is going to have to be the thing that carries him. It's okay if he's not the centerpiece that does it all, right? Because as we talk about Baker and everything, like I said, as much as you want to say Baker's done and he's done fantastic for the Bucs, right? He's done fantastic for the Bucs, but a lot of that is credit to the pieces that are around him, the offensive line, the receivers stepping up. Obviously, Ibuka's insane.
Same thing with Jones.
These guys have
their
pieces.
ability is good, but they have all the pieces that maximize their ability.
And the same can be said for Caleb, but
Caleb's also showing that his own abilities.
That's the plus side, is that with Caleb, there's this mark, and then it's like, yeah, but he's got so much more room to grow. Like, that's the thing. Justin, he kind of has a little bit more room to work with, but at some point, I think he hits his peak. My worry is that this is who he is as a quarterback, and I don't know if anybody can transform that now. Like, I hope he's not stuck in, I am who I am.
You'd have to I think the only way
you have to tear down and break it apart again.
You have to completely buy into playing like him.
Yeah.
You'd have to buy into it now. You have to become this team where that first drive is every single drive, 11 rushes, 3 passes.
Yeah, more or less.
And then they get a rushing touchdown. You got to think that that's how you buy into it.
Probably. But all the best to Justin. I don't want anybody to ever fail. I don't.
No.
But when we do see it happening, unfortunately, we're going to talk about it. For better, for worse, we're going to talk about it.
So then why do we think that why do we talk like this guy's failing? Because he's not failing.
He's not. He's not failing. He's not. It's just the team around him is failing, and therefore it reflects poorly on him. But unfortunately, he is not playing up to the par of being a former first-round pick. And this idea that Aaron Glenn was supposed to, turn this thing around, and therefore, everybody under the sun's going to get their up-and-comings. But
yeah, and then you got this guy who's, a Super Bowl MVP, but everyone treats him like he's garbage.
Yeah. Well,
just saying.
This last one, this came from a multitude of people over the last month.
These live streams are hilarious, by the way.
A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles are in this. How did I describe it again? It was how's the marriage going? Oh yeah, it's going good. It's going good. Yeah, no, we're doing fine. But A.J. Brown's in that point where he's had so much wine at the dinner party. He's going, I'll tell you something. They don't love me anymore. They don't take me out to dinner anymore. They don't love me anymore. It is clearly obvious that these two are on the outs with each other. They are staying together for the kids. Which is
they're staying together for Devonta Smith and Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, for
that's it, man.
The Super Bowl potential run that, hey, maybe A.J. Brown will be needed for the playoffs or something, because you never know with Devonta Smith. He's very skinny and he might get hurt. And
So here's my question for you. Is this and this you can answer this very quickly.
yeah.
Is this an A.J. Brown situation, or is this a Nick Sirianni situation?
God, I feel like
Because
I don't even
could
know.
take you down two paths with it.
Yeah.
With your response.
I don't know if it's Sirianni. I feel like this may be with the OC more than anything.
Okay, so you're going the coaching route with it.
I think more. I think I would go more of the coaching route. Listen. AJ Brown is who he is. He's very outspoken. He's very, we know he's an emotional kind of dude. But I feel like you changed from Kellen Moore, who at least if anything you were getting him the ball. And
yeah,
now
and
you
also, I mean, Kellen Moore, just on an offensive coordinator perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, Rattler didn't look too bad. For
well,
what he was. Rattler was actually playing good, and he got the ball to his star receivers.
And we just saw Shuck.
And then Shuck's doing the same thing.
Yeah, and he just
Shuck's
had
throwing
his
150
best game.
yards to Chris Olave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, he should be throwing 100 times to his top receiver. That's what you should be doing.
So that's where I would say it's on the coaching side, not with Sirianni. It's with the new offensive coordinator, not Perbola, Priamala or wherever. It's something like that, something weird. But I think it's him. Like, he's new, whatever it is.
I would agree with you, but I preface Nick Sirianni just because, I think his leadership is going to be brought into question if this team fails out.
Absolutely.
And, I think
as it always has whenever the Eagles go on a losing streak.
What the Packers game told me was, man, I think the players really won the Super Bowl and not the coaching.
Yeah, no, that there was a clear difference. I mean, listen,
the defense was completely stacked.
Yeah.
The offense is completely stacked. They brought in the offensive player of the year. They had a top 10 receiver, maybe two.
They had the best offensive line in NFL.
Line.
Like,
I think the players defined what that team was, not the coaching.
No, yeah.
And I think that's a discussion that could be had. I think Nick Sirianni is a good coach who maybe just doesn't have the best leadership ability.
Sure.
But that should still bring the team up because I think he is a pretty good coach.
He's a motivator, I feel like, more than anything.
Yeah.
And he does, I will say this, if there is kind of a coaching aspect to him, he was a former offensive line coach. So if anything, he knows how to put that together. I will give him that credit.
I mean, he made Indy look like a pretty good offense.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where he got hired from.
Yeah. So it's just with this situation, I don't want to say that it's just A.J. Brown just kind of being pouty, because we see the moments where he is clearly open. Like whatever it was in Green Bay, he's coming across the field. He is wide open. Throw that ball. He's got the first down. As big and fast as he is, he might even be able to get into the end zone. But for some reason, Jalen Hurts steps up, moves past, I think it was Micah, actually, then he moves behind on the offensive line, and then as he's coming through the offensive line, and then goes behind him and then starts to run up the field. And I just remember thinking, like, you had that opportunity to throw the ball. Why not take it? Why run the ball? Like, it's just, that's where it leads me to say, is there something going on between those two? I find it hard to believe because Jalen doesn't come across as a guy that has any of that grudge.
He's also a very good leader, by the way.
Exactly.
Like, listening to him in press conferences, he's a really good leader. And
like, Nick Saban has always made that clear. He's a leader in the locker room.
Everyone else on that team respects him. It just seems like there's a disconnect between these two.
And that may be where A.J. Brown, maybe he has a bone to pick with Jalen Hurts. I don't know. Maybe Jalen Hurts just isn't seeing him. I don't know. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think he can certainly be in that top 10, top 12 conversation, sure. But I find it hard to believe that you don't see your number one wide receiver, this guy you're getting.
I know.
It's top of the line, and you're not throwing the ball to him. It just looks weird. Where I'm hearing now people even say, like, dude, is this a part of the scandal that you're hearing with the FBI stuff? Like, I'm going to kill that right now and say, I don't think that's what this is.
Andrew, everybody that doesn't have a good game is going to be accused of rigging it.
Yeah, of course.
It's
You've
the
thrown
biggest
the
thing
game
for the
now
UFC.
because of this scandal.
Like, everyone that loses that should win, they're just going to be like, he's throwing that fight. Like, that's the new meme right now.
Of course.
There's no backing with it.
Yeah. By the way, Anthony Joshua is not throwing that fight against you, Jake Paul. I'm just saying, you come to play and get corrected and get corrected.
Last thing I'll say.
Yeah.
I hate Devonta Smith. I've always hated him since 2020.
That's
I don't think
harsh.
he deserved the Heisman.
Ooh. Wow.
But I'll tell you what.
Okay.
They get rid of A.J. Brown and make him the #1 guy. That's your next JSN.
Yeah, I could see that.
He has a JSN breakout.
I could definitely see that. He's got the talent for sure.
Devonta Smith, really? Really? Really?
Our man, No Gimmick Stick Johnson, just walked in, and Amini was just like, Scotty's crazy. That's fair. I mean,
still think that. I hate Devonta Smith.
The only thing that would stop him is just that he is super skinny. Like, JSN has a little bit more meat on his bones, and he's a tough dude, man. And I'm not saying Devonta Smith isn't tough. It's just he's kind of more on he's developed more of his route running as he's gotten older now. But he used to be that one-trick pony, and it still kind of is his, like, go-to, right? It's the go route, get the ball deep to him, and then kind of just let him make his moves. So, we'll see. A.J. Brown, I'm still shocked that they didn't try and make a move for him in the offseason to some degree, if this was the case. If anything, at the deadline, to see if maybe there was something to be had. I guess there were calls that may have come in for him, but I guess the Eagles were trying to see if they could get a higher asking price than what was out there. I don't know to what degree, but who knows? But yeah, I guess if you're gonna, I'd follow his advice. Yeah, if you have him on your fantasy team, drop him. Good advice, I guess, from AJ Brown. He's gonna start spilling. Somebody's gonna get the exclusive on it, and he's gonna just spill the tea somewhere. All right, that'll do it there for the NFL quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump into this college stuff. We're gonna rip through this real quick. I want to just kind of simmer through this very fast. So, the weekly recap, wrap-up, review, ladies and gentlemen, is here. Again, your top questions coming through. I'm just going to rip through these very fast. Multiple people asking, what do you think about Indiana, Penn State going to the final seconds? Great catch by Cooper. Nice throw by Mendoza. Definitely made me think Ohio State and then everybody else even more. It's just, Where am I supposed to buy into Indiana after this game? Because this is the second or the third, if you want, NFL defense they've kind of faced where they've got NFL caliber players. I am including Iowa into that. Yeah, that counts. I'm concluding that counts. And I'm going to, obviously, Oregon is in that too. And they beat Oregon and they beat Iowa. But the thing is that you didn't beat Iowa. You only beat them by 5. Oregon, you beat by double digits, fine, but, you know, the way they've been blowing out teams, you would have thought more. Yeah, exactly. And then, obviously, this game happens, and it just makes me think, if this is what you have against these teams that have NFL players kind of scattered on their teams, what happens when you go up against an NFL defense? That team could probably beat the Browns by at least a touchdown. Like, I mean, Garrett Wilson's going to probably have, like, at least 5 sacks, but Julian Sands getting rid of the ball very quickly, and I don't know Denzel Ward's going to have his stuff cut out for him. Former Ohio State, mind you, too. This does not sell me anymore on Indiana.
What a catch. I told you they were this is what that team was. Mendoza's going to win MVP because we're going to win Heisman, though.
I don't know. I think Sands still got something to say about that, so.
Well, you thought of that.
All right, fine. It didn't work. Whatever. I thought it was good. All right, next question we've got. This came from one of our guys, longtime listener of ours. This is a guy, Brad, who's actually from Lubbock, Texas, born and raised, went to Texas Tech, lives there, and he's asking, is Texas Tech the real deal?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. There's your answer.
They got everything. They kind of have everything.
They're a sneaky, they're a strange team, but it works perfectly for what they are. They have the defense that is just, they blister everybody, top 10 defense.
All 3 levels are stacked with great players who bought into that system.
Which Rodriguez should be up for the Heisman. That kid is insanely talented and tough. Their offense is run the ball, pass the ball. They've got it. And McGuire as a coach has that entire team locked in. Like they are bought, step, lock, and barrel. And possible future Bear, David Bailey, is just sacking everybody. That kid is a maniac. By the way, I was able to speak with somebody. That whole incident with the reporter, not his character, just a one-off. So don't worry about it. Character's good. And even if he is a little crazy, who doesn't want crazy? Who doesn't want Ruben Bain Jr. from Miami? Man's insane. But you'd want him on your football team. I'd want him on my football team. Please come to Cincinnati. Actually, I want Caleb Downs. Forget that. All right, last one we've got here. Yeah, Texas Tech going to be a real thing. The last one, look at the rankings real quick. Because obviously everybody chimed me in on the rankings. And I look, from my perspective, there's some I don't like on here. Scotty, I'll let you give yours just real quick on this. I mean, looking at the rankings. This is obviously just the college football playoff as it sits right now.
I kind of agree that USF, like, maybe bringing in one of these, you know, out of, like, I forget what they call them. These outside schools, like.
Group of five.
Group of fives.
Yeah.
USF should not. I don't think they should be in there. They got blown out by Miami on this in the same ranking, and they're only one rank below them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that makes sense. Texas, yeah, they have just too many good wins. That's why they're there.
Right.
I would probably drop Notre Dame a little bit more, though, because
I don't know why they're ranked ahead of Miami.
I don't know why they're ranked ahead of Miami. To be honest, I don't know why they're ranked ahead of Texas.
No.
Like, they should be.
They lost both of their ranked teams.
They should be at 12 or 11 right there.
Yeah, seriously.
Top 4 is pretty solid, though.
I'd say so.
Ole Miss being at 7 is criminal. Because, to be honest, Georgia has fallen forward to wins.
Sure.
Ole Miss has been dominating some.
Absolutely. And this is going to be a test tale, obviously, for Georgia as well, too. I'll just say this, for the rankings, it's Miami for me with Notre Dame. That's like the biggest one. I'm sorry, Tom. I think even he probably would have to agree, too. I don't know. I haven't talked to him lately, but you don't lose 2 top 25 games and still get ranked in the top 10. I don't see how that's possible. Other than, money, 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 money. Outside of that, I mean, I don't really have a problem with the rankings. I think you're going to see a lot more shift as it goes through. Oh, yeah, Vanderbilt, by the way, do not let them in. Do not let them in. And I will say this, for David's sake, he says Texas A&M should be number 1. They do have a better resume than Ohio State by a milestone. But again, I'm going to say this. You're going to supersede the reigning national champs who are undefeated with arguably the best team. They're going to look at the roster, and they're not going to change that.
And they also look almost on par, if not maybe better than last year as well.
I think they're way better. Like, I'm talking like a good foot better. If that's a measurement, I don't know. It feels like they were here, and it feels like they got another step better quarterback.
I'm just receivers, saying, I think at the beginning of the year was a little bit more behind. So that's why I'm not sending them so far behind, because at the beginning they struggled.
Yeah.
But
I didn't just like.
I could get there.
That's where I'm at.
They
like,
look a little better than they did last year.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at, right? Offense started here, and now all of a sudden they're over here. Again, they haven't really played too many top teams, but also that's kind of Penn State's fault too. So. Jeez. All right, let's do it, folks. Pick 6. Here we go. We'll give the honorable mentions there at the end, and then obviously we're gonna have. I don't know what we're gonna call Scotty's thing, but we'll get to it. Let's do this. Pick 6. Here we go. The top 6 games of the week that I got picked. First one up. Yes, number 9 Notre Dame against number 22 Pitt. Notre Dame full 12.5-point favorites. The over/under is at 53.5. Scotty, who you taking?
College game day should have been at a D2 school. I don't know. I just don't really have that much backing in Pitt, but Notre Dame's gonna win this and probably get higher ranked next week, even though they really shouldn't be. So what is it? Notre Dame by 12. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
12. Notre Dame by 10.
Okay.
Give me the over.
All right. I'd really like if Pitt could pull off the upset. I think they can keep it close. So I'll say within a touchdown, but it's still a 7-point favorite I got for Notre Dame. I will, though, take the over. I will take the over on this because I think that freshman quarterback for Pitt has figured something out. Like, they got a young team coming, and that defense is fast for Pitt.
They're starting Holstein, right?
Yeah. No, Hershile. Or I think that's how you say his name. It's the freshman for sure. Holstein got pushed.
They're both freshmen. I think he's a redshirt.
Holstein's a sophomore.
Oh, he's a sophomore.
Redshirt sophomore, transfer from Alabama. But, yeah, they're starting the freshman, and he's taking over the country right now as the top freshman. All right, next game we got. Number 11, Oklahoma against number 4, Alabama. Another top matchup. Right now, Bama obviously favored. Makes sense. 5.5, though. Over-under's at 46.5. Scotty, what are you thinking?
Bama's just been playing so good, but I really want Oklahoma to win this one.
So do I.
Like Ty Simpson, like I said at the
So
beginning,
do
like,
I.
he completely flipped it because I thought he wasn't the guy at the beginning of the year, but he completely flipped that. He's playing so good. I just really want to pick Oklahoma. I want John Mateer to figure it out. I think he's almost back to where he was at the beginning of the year. There's still something that is holding him back, I think.
Yeah.
I can't go against Alabama though. I can't pick against Alabama. Alabama by 3. No, this will be like a 27-21 game.
Okay. I'll definitely take the over. I'm taking Bama. I'll stretch it to 6. I'll give it 6. They are just good. I think you have to shut down Ty Simpson to win this game, obviously, because their run game. This is the first time in a while that I've seen Bama's run game, and it's like, man, they don't have anything going. Like they've got no feel for it whatsoever. So, which is odd because they've always been that way. But this is Kalen DeBoer. This isn't Nick Saban. We got to remember that. So
I'm thinking 28-24 Bama.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm gonna say
I'm getting that with it.
I'm gonna say 27-21. I'm gonna say something like that. Like John Mateer will have his.
I said that one too, but then I was like, you know what? I could see Oklahoma being like early in the game having to kick a field goal because their offense isn't meeting up to it.
It's true,
So
and their
I was
defense
like,
has been good all year long. They've been strong. Like they've had their moments. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll take Bama 6. Give me the over. Yes, this is game of the week. Number 10, Texas. Number 5, UGA. This has all the implications for the college football playoff, and I'm here for it. 6.5-point favorite right now for the Georgia Bulldogs. 49.5. The over/under. Scotty,
would you say Arch Manning had his best game last week?
I would. I think he's had some of his best games by far. So he's been a top 10 quarterback so far.
Slowly figuring it out.
Yeah, which is what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody said it was going to be a pipe dream right off the bat.
They got 6.5 to Georgia. Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I'd hop over Texas on the spread on that.
Yeah. And this is a night game too, by the way, but this is still in the Georgia Dome.
Don't care.
Or Sanford Stadium.
Texas is going to keep it close because that defense is really good.
Yeah.
I just really think Georgia's going to just fall forward to a victory again, just like they did against Ole Miss.
Okay.
Like, I could see that happening again where we got to get – so I'm going to take the under first, but I could definitely see a game where it's like 24-21, 24-20, something like that. You know, Arch throws for 2 touchdowns or whatever, and then just Georgia's got the ball last. They're down by like 3. They score a touchdown, 24-21.
Okay.
That's where I kind of see it at.
I think I'm going to take the under on this.
The under should be pretty clear.
These two teams feel
2 really good defenses.
2 very good defenses. They also feel very similar in how they play too. There's a similar style to each playing. The difference here though is that Texas, I think, has better athletes on the outside with their receivers, obviously, and Wingo and Moore. And I think, like you said, Arch is starting to figure out his stats right now measure better than what we've seen from Gunnar Stockton outside of the interceptions.
I would say different kind of ability. They're more of speedy. Georgia is more of the possession guys.
Well, yeah, they're yards after they're fast, but yards after catch.
And then they're yak. So they make sure they get the ball, and then they're able to evade one.
Right. Texas has always been about big plays down the field. That's kind of been their MO. But I'll say Texas. I'll take Texas by like 3.5. 3.5 hits the under. It's going to be a score where it's like 16-13, something like that. It's going to be another odd one. But I half expect like both quarterbacks to still have a day. but the defenses are going to be what changes this. Colin Simmons, by the way, is now officially becoming a game changer. He's going to probably be a top 10, top 5 pick by the end of next year. If not, you would probably take him now.
10, but maybe top 10.
But that kid is incredibly good, and he changes games. All right, next. These are the NFL games we got. Tampa Bay versus Buffalo.
Does it seem like both teams need this one? Because Tampa kind of got embarrassed last week, and then Buffalo's just also got embarrassed last week.
Yes.
But they kind of need to get back in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, Buffalo is favored by 5.5. The over-under is at 46.5. So who are you taking, amigo?
Well, the Bills don't have Kincaid, by the way. He's out.
Right.
Bucks aren't getting Bucky back. He's just there right now. But I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Okay.
Because I think the injuries are too high on the Bucks right now.
Okay.
So Buffalo, probably give them 7, and then I'll take the over.
All right.
Slightly.
I like that. Yeah, I like Buffalo in this too. I'll take the over on this for the Buffalo Bills, and I'll take them by a touchdown. And Tampa's going into that Buffalo cold weather, potentially, right? Could be a strong cold front coming through. So this is going to be kind of Buffalo's game. This is going to be kind of their MO. This is their opportunity. So I like it. I think, yeah, Buffalo by a full touchdown. Give me the over on this for sure. So
Cooper Kupp returning home.
yes. Seattle is going to Los Angeles to play the Rams right now. As it sits, the Rams are favored by 3.5. The over-under is at 48.5. Scotty, where are you taking this one, man?
So I agree with the fact that the Raiders should be favored because they are the more complete team.
You mean the Rams?
Or the Rams, yeah.
Okay. I was like, I swear he said Raiders.
The Rams are the more complete team.
Correct.
But I would say ability-wise, I'm going to take the Seattle offense over the Rams defense.
Okay.
So I am going to go with Seattle. I'm going to go with them by 3, and I'm going to go over because I can see Stafford throwing for like 3 touchdowns because that's just what he does. Darnold's going to do the same thing.
So a shootout.
Yeah, it's a shootout, but I think that Seattle probably gets the ball with like 6 minutes left, and they score with like a minute on the clock, and the Rams can't really do much with it after that.
All right. This is a pretty good prediction. I like that. Oh God, this is tough. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say Seattle. Seattle pulls it off. I'm gonna say Seattle. Seattle by let's go with a weird one, like 4, 4.5, something like that. Let's say 4. Let's go with 4. Seattle by 4.
Like you're thinking like a 28-24?
Yeah, I think this hits
Something
the
like
under.
31-28, 31-27, something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the under though. These defenses are good. The Rams' only weakness right now has been their secondary has been back and forth,
and that's why I think JSN is just gonna torch them.
He very much could. This could be the Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith and Jigba game. Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford. Like this could turn out to be if this game is 21. I mean, yeah, if it hits 21-21 by the half, they're going way over the limit.
Big factor in this one, Devontae is playing through an injury, an oblique injury,
Correct.
and it's not being talked about at all.
Yeah.
And they're trying to play it off and really suppress it, but he looked banged up in that game last week.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. All right, last game we got here. Detroit at Philly, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sunday night game of the week. Yeah, right now you've got Philadelphia favored at 2.5. The over-under is at 46.5. Scotty, who you got, man?
God, Philadelphia doesn't lose on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, the pact that the Eagles have with the Bears is nuts.
Yeah, exactly. It's fantastic. It's beneficial.
As good as Detroit is, for some reason Philadelphia doesn't lose on Sunday Night Football.
It's true.
They don't lose on NBC. It's just a thing. There's some kind of stigma with it, so I'm gonna go to Philadelphia by 2.5. I'm going to sneakily take the under, though.
Okay. All right. I like that. Oh God. Yeah, I'll take Philly too.
Detroit's just too good, so it makes it a little concerning.
Yeah.
But
Detroit.
they're bound to lose at some point, and Philly's a team that they would lose to.
Yeah, I'll say Philly. I'll say by a point. They take it to the over, just the over. Like Philly finds they have to make a comeback out of it, kind of thing. Like that's what it feels like. Like Jalen Hurts will find a way to put the ball down the field, and like I don't know, Dallas Goedert will be the one to save the day or something. I don't know, something strange.
Really
Like
quick,
just saying that because he's on my fantasy team too.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, of course I am.
really quick
But-
to shout out some honorable mentions.
Yes, let's
Iowa
do that.
USC is going to be a very interesting game
That has implications too potentially.
because Iowa's defense is really good, and that quarterback's playing out of his mind for USC.
Mayava's incredible.
Mayava's incredible, but
Tried to tell you all.
at home.
Yeah,
Can he step up to Iowa's defense? I think that could be a little concerning.
yeah.
And then also TCU BYU. I think TCU has some pieces that could stun some teams, although BYU is playing top tier right now. I know they lost last week, but TCU has some pieces that they could walk in to Mormon country and take them down.
Absolutely. Yeah, other ones I'll note too, UCF and Navy could be a fun one. Arizona, Cincinnati, two teams that are winning right now, could be an interesting, nice little shootout if there is a possibility. NC State versus number 15 Miami has big implications too because we saw that NC State figured it out against Georgia Tech. Can they figure it out against Miami?
Dude, you didn't even put Bears Minnesota on this one.
Yeah, but that's kind of going with the
Yeah,
obvious.
but that's like the two young quarterbacks
Yeah,
going
it's-
with each other. So
I'm
you gotta add
expecting
that one.
Chicago to like double-digit win this game.
I'm not.
I honestly am.
By
Because
the
I don't
way,
have the biggest trust right now in JJ and that offense as far as it goes.
You
That's
don't
just
trust
me.
9?
I don't.
You don't trust 9?
I don't.
Dude, don't
I
give
don't.
yourself a nickname, kids. Jalen Johnson just got his 21-day practice window opened.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
Andrew, I got a little thing for you.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, Sports Illustrated put out a list of the top 25 quarterbacks of the
Okay.
quarter century in college football history, ranked from 25 to 1.
Okay.
So, I'm going to throw the graphic up,
All right.
okay? We'll
I should
start
have
at
brought
the
my
back.
glasses for this.
Well, you can go in whatever order you want, but I just want your opinion on some of these because man, some of these I kind of question where they ranked them. Shoot, come on.
Is it not coming up big?
No. Not coming up big. Here, hold on, I'll pull it up real quick. It's not coming up big. They got Burrow at 1, by the way. Which
Well, good. Then they're smart. All right.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah. You don't agree with that? Well, I
No.
know which way you're going.
They got, in order of 1 to 5,
Okay.
they have Burrow, Newton, Vince Young, Tim Tebow, Matt Leinart at 5. Yeah.
I'd put him in the top 10, but I don't know if I put him at 5.
I can't get him there. He had Reggie Bush, and it really helped him out, man.
Yeah. That's true.
6 to 10, you got Lamar, Baker, Manziel, Lawrence.
See, I would put him in the top
Lawrence
5.
Mariota.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's funny because they also added, so I'll tell you why in a second. Jameis Winston, Andrew Luck, Kellen Moore at 13,
The fact is he's even in. I'm surprised he's even in.
Tua, and Daniels.
Tua and Daniels both are in. Okay, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury. Or no, Alex Smith. Alex Smith. Wrong quarterback.
Utah Alex Smith.
Yeah, Utah Alex Smith.
Okay.
I couldn't see the face very
Okay.
well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Bryce Young.
Yeah.
RG3. Stetson
He did win the
Bennett.
Heisman.
Stetson Bennett.
That's. I got all the respect in the world for the kid, but
Game manager at best.
it's the problem. That's the issue. He stepped up when it was needed. Obviously, in the championships, like there's no doubt. But you
Carson
also had
Palmer. Kyler Murray. I think it's Terrell Pryor. Michael Penix.
Ohio State big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be Terrell Pryor probably.
And then
Or if not, that's
someone from FSU, but the name's not coming to me.
FSU. EJ Manuel?
No.
Christian Ponder?
Might be Christian Ponder. Name's not coming to me, though, but he's at 25.
He's at 25. I'm trying to think.
That's why I wish it was going big.
Would it be Jordan Travis?
No, I don't think it's Jordan Travis.
I don't think so.
But anyways,
okay.
Your thoughts on that top 5, I would say more importantly.
I honestly, as much as I love Joe Burrow, I still probably put him number 1. I'd probably put him like 3. I'd put Tim Tebow number 1.
Can I be honest? The 2 greatest players I've ever seen play college football are Tim Tebow and Johnny Manziel in that order.
See, I put Johnny in the top 5. I don't know if I would put him at number 2.
No.
I put Cam Newton at 2.
That guy, I know they had Michael Thomas, or they had Mike Evans, but other than that, that Texas A&M offense had nothing when he walked in there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And he made them the best team in the country.
Yeah. No.
And he was the best player in college football.
Sure.
I would put him 2.
Sure.
And then I'd put Burrow.
I would put Cam Newton at 2 just because he really did carry that Auburn team.
Yes.
It was him and Nick Fairley, and everybody else was kind of just like trailing behind him.
Yes, but Burrow has all the records. That's what kind of separated it for me.
Sure.
Matt Leinart should maybe be at 10.
Yeah, I would put him maybe at 10.
Because RG3 should maybe be in the top 10.
Yeah, the fact that he's
Talk
so
about
low,
having nobody.
He just...
No, this is college football quarterbacks.
This is I would put RG3 definitely, I think, in the top 10. He carried that Baylor team for so long. So that list is that's a strange one.
That's a very strange list.
I'd like to know like what
I put
all
Lamar
went into
over
that.
Leinart.
The what?
Lamar over Matt Leinart.
Lamar over Leinart? I don't know.
Leinart didn't win
He still wins national championships, even though they don't really count anymore.
Didn't win a Heisman.
He did win a Heisman.
Lamar did.
Yeah, Lamar won a Heisman too. Oh man, yeah,
The Leinart at 5 just throws me off so much. Yeah, there's no way Michael Penix Jr. should be in that one.
No, it's
Bro
one
was garbage.
It was one season. It wasn't really garbage at Indiana. It was one season at Washington that really solidifies his legacy more than anything.
I
said probably. I don't really.
If he is, he's in the back end. That's where I would put him.
he's in the back end.
Like whenever you see college highlight compilations, I don't see Bryce Young.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Stetson Bennett should not be on this list.
No, that's just placating to the fact that he's a 2-time back-to-back national champion.
To be honest, I also think Jaden Daniels is a little too high.
Yeah, I can see the argument on that. The only the issue with him is that you didn't do anything significant, but he did end up having a Heisman season.
Also,
and he does make that.
Also, before he went to LSU, he was good,
right?
But he wasn't great.
Well, he has at Arizona State, with Herm Edwards.
True, but
so I'm not gonna fault the kid for the fact that it didn't really work too well at one school, and then he finds a niche at the other. So, but yeah, no, that list is
interesting.
Yeah, to say the very least. I don't fully agree with it. I like the fact they put Burrow in there, cool, but I'm not fully sold on that. I put him in the top 3 at least for what he did. I mean, credit where credit's due. Yeah, he had a lot of weapons around him, but I don't know how many quarterbacks you could put in that offense and get those same kind of numbers. That's kind of the argument, right? I guess. I don't know. But
how was Tebow 4th?
He had a lot of help, I guess, if you're going to make that argument, I guess.
Did he, though?
Percy Harvin.
Yeah, because that's a great name to have.
In college, it is.
In college, sure.
Yeah.
Compared to Burrow.
I mean, he had some real killers on the team. Come on.
Compared to Burrow.
Yeah. Some really cutthroat players.
Oh, yeah?
Good aim and everything, man. Right on target. Whew.
Vince Young's pretty fair.
Yeah,
Sounds
like
pretty
I
fair.
don't mind that. The Vince Young one's pretty good. For
long
what
as-
he did, that's he again, it's kind of like with Cam Newton. Like he did a lot to help that offense kind of push it forward and to get them to the national championship against one of the top teams maybe ever in the national title is huge. So I don't know. Make a list of what you want, claim how you want. It's all, I guess, your perspective and your objective of what you're looking for, I guess, in a quarterback. I mean, for all we could say here is, Riley Leonard's the greatest quarterback for whatever reason we could find under the sun. Or we could say that, what's his name, Horvath, the running quarterback for Navy. We could say he's the greatest because look at all the stuff he did, right? So, but, all right, Scotty, thank you for the list. And, folks, that's going to do it for us here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. We appreciate you guys, of course, always watching, listening, being a part of this wonderful fan basis. We love you guys. We appreciate you as always, of course. If you guys obviously want to check me out anymore, so you can find me on the social media stuff down here below, where you guys can follow me. I'm at TheFufflyGuru on Twitter. I'm also at BoomCrewCaptain on Instagram as well. If you guys want to check out any more of the stream, by the way, too, you guys are streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. That's, of course, youtube.com/XBombSports and twitch.tv/XBombSports. On top of that as well, too, we, of course, have our social medias. That's on XBombs, at XBombSports. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, where the wonderful Frankie Olive Oil Oliveri is cutting the clips for us, doing great, wonderful things. Thank you so much, as always, Frankie, for what you do, man. Appreciate you. By the way, shout out to this man because he is about to graduate, too. Congratulations to you, Frankie. Way to make it, man. Way to make it happen. Appreciate you. Love you, man. So proud of you. Absolutely. Now we just got to refine. Now you can stop putting on the accent and you can let them know you're actually British. So it's okay. Oh, my God. Okay, now we have a new segment. Frankie does an accent from some part of the world. That's for the other pod. That's the offline podcast where we can really get.
And next week,
Yeah.
Frankie does Chinese.
Oh, God. All right. Well, we just got canceled. Also, too, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, any questions, comments, xpsportsofficial@gmail.com. Always love the questions and comments. Hey, folks, stick around here on YouTube, by the way, and check out Bad Karma Wrestling. If you guys want to listen to a wonderful wrestling show, because I know you guys definitely do. You guys have sent us a lot of wrestling questions, and at some point, we're going to get those out there to these guys here. Unfortunately, David W. Dexter won't be here, but it'll be our boy No Gimmick Stick Johnston, and yeah, you get to see Scotty's face, I guess, if you want to, too. I don't know. It's up to you. If you want to see a deer murderer, it's all up to you, I guess. But, for shame on you for killing Bambi's mother. How dare you?
I probably didn't.
Stop driving in the forest. I told you. Enough. Knock it off. So definitely go check that out, guys. That is Bad Karma Wrestling on YouTube right here. Also, too, as well, Blow the Whistle. It's going live, sportssoundchicago.com. We are going live at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Again, that's on the YouTube channel, sportssoundchicago.com, talking about everything we just talked about here, and then some for college football, NFL, maybe getting some other stuff. You're killing me, Smalls. We'll see what happens. Anything goes on these shows, as you guys know. So please stick around for that as well. Again, that's 2 p.m. Central Time. Be on the lookout for that, too. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week, as always, and much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.